That's exactly right. Hey, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm Dr. Gail. This is Susie and Mary. Susie's going to be in the backgrounds, filtering out the chat or watching everything and putting up the banners. So I appreciate everybody showing up, and we're going to be ready for questions, but I'm going to do a little shout out. Susie, you can go behind the scenes now, and we'll get this minimize us a little
We're
bit.
gonna miss her face though.
There we go. Huh. Wonder why mine's a little wider, yours is this way.
Your needs are more important than mine right now.
I don't think so. This is strange. It's usually equal. And this maybe are you on your phone? Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's it. Okay. Well, I want to say hello to everybody. Hey, Karen. Hey, Sharon. Hey, White Dragon. Pure Visionary Psychic Medium. Hey, how are y'all doing? Rewritten Perspectives. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, let me see who else might be in here that I have missed.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Butterfly Kisses, Lauren, Carrie. Hey, everybody, Sunny Intuition. Hey, Juno, on the Chromosome. Hi, how are you guys doing? Anita. Oh, how's everybody today? And we've got some good questions. We've got great questions. And let me pull them up. And eventually we're going to be just answering questions right now, but I'm going to let Mary talk about the Rustic Raven a little bit, tell about what's going on there. So everybody, hey, Susie, tell everybody what's going on at the Rustic Raven these days. And I feel odd that I'm going to bring this to a different screen, that I'm bigger than you.
There we go. We're so equal.
Yes. Just shift that layout. But I could try this one. Let's see what that one does. No, that still makes you smaller. Okay. That must be the phone thing. Okay. All right. So tell us.
I like this one. This was good. I can see myself okay. So these days, we're just doing what. Can I give everyone a downstairs tour?
Yeah.
Downstairs tour. So nowadays, we're just running the shop. We're doing our normal services, and our services are shamanic healing, Reiki healing. We do hypnotherapy, some color and sound therapy, different things like that. We are looking into expanding and getting some lands and having some big retreat space. But right now, I want to show you what's available now. So we're going to go this way.
I'm going to see how she pulls this off. I hope I get to laugh.
What am I pulling off? Hold on, let me see.
Exactly that. She's gone. Oh, Mary will be back in just a few minutes. I knew something would happen. Something always does. But it makes it a lot of fun of maneuvering through these little mistakes that we make. Hey, Dream Journey 1. And Vivian. Hi, Vivian. Hi, Mara. Anyway, Mary just came back.
I'm back, guys.
I was hoping.
This is Brady and Dawson, my shopkeepers right now. They're currently working on a TikTok, I think.
Okay.
So we have all of our beautiful little baby crystals. These are our baby ones, and I like to sing them lullabies. Lullaby, baby, little ones. Little ones. And then we have some big ones. I can't really angle my phone correctly.
Well, everybody who's just joining us, this is Mary showing us her store, the Rustic Raven. And she's walking us around. Hey, you shaman. She's just walking around her store a little bit. Show us what she's got. So continue on, Mary.
So we saw one little crystal room, but I can't show you all of my secrets. So I'm not going to show you all of the crystals. But then we have a lot of handmade jewelry comes through here. We have quite a few talented artisans locally who wrap crystals and make their own jewelry. And these are actually some of Braden's pieces here. And you just met Braden. So he wraps those by hand. And all kinds of beautiful things. And we have lots and lots of incense and crystal sprays Delta 8 stuff. I'm not sure if we're allowed to talk about that online, but you want to get high legally? I think you can. You're in California. Never mind. Never mind.
Well, you don't know who's in the chat, though. We're watching.
Okay, well, if you don't live in California, you can get high legally using our Delta 8, 9, and 10. And then we have like different herbal tinctures and herbs and teas and oils and bath salts and books. We have some spiritual books happening and lots of candles. I actually have a client now who's making these little bottles. She hand paints them.
Oh, wow.
And they plug in and light up.
Oh, and that's a raven there, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's a raven, but she's got a wolf and an owl and a butterfly. I don't know if you can see this. This one's lit up.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty. I like that.
Yeah, so she hand paints the bottles.
Yeah.
So lots of fun things. I think that this month, aside from our Sacred Sigil event, where you get a mini healing session with me, and then you get to go over to the next room with Buddy of Imperial Ink, who also works on the spaceship, and he actually tattoos that sigil. Other than that, we have a sound healing event this month, and I think that's it for September. And our open mic. We started our Raven Riot open mics. So we call it Raven Riot, but it's really just about expression of soul, because that's really important to be able to express yourself mythically through music and movement.
So when are you doing that? When is that happening?
We have our Raven Riots the last Sunday of every month, from 2 to 4.
Okay. Oh, and there's Mary's website. Okay. All right. Well, let's start into the questions. So the very first question I have gotten, this is the ones that came from the community. This is from BJ. Her question was, Earth is a school and special to all kinds of ETs and life forms, but is there not another Earth-type planet with special qualities? Is Earth really a rare type of planet? Now, this is my opinion. My opinion is no, we are not the only ones. We're not the only Earth-type planet. We have so many universes, and we have so many different things. And I just think that we are not the only ones. Like, we think some people think we're the only beings in the whole universe, which we all know that's who's here is not. Oh, Meg's trying to call me right now.
Margaret.
Yes. So anyway, that's the answer to that. That's my feeling. That's my opinion, is that there's probably a lot of Earth-type planets out there, especially in all the different universes. So, all right, the next question is from Lisa B. What is an implant? What circumstances determine if someone gets an implant? Are there different kinds of implants? So, Mary, you take that one.
I think that the circumstances can vary from person to person around the implants. But one thing that we know is the commonality of the implant is that usually it's done with people who have some sort of low vibration or wounded space, or they're found in a vulnerable state already, or they've been through some trauma or some different things. And a lot of the time, the reason that these people go through these things is because they have a really big purpose. They have a really big destiny. They have a lot to learn in order to reach those spaces. So they've contracted themselves and agreed to go through all these tough things in order to heal those things, learn those lessons, and open up those gifts and their destiny and their huge purpose. And so there might be some beings who read that about them, or who know that those people have a big purpose and a big destiny, and they come in when they're in a low vibrational or wounded state and put those implants there to keep it low vibrational, to keep them from reaching those higher spaces. And I've actually seen quite a few people recently more where they have already started their spiritual awakening and overcome so much, but because they had an implant placed, they find when they're trying to reach their destiny space, or where they're about to break into their purpose, that it's almost like they're having this barrier or reaching this plateaued space. At first, when we started the implants, it was a lot around people who were just depressed or had anxiety disorders, and they were really in very negative spaces. A lot of my clientele right now isn't in those spaces. They're people who are striving for their purpose, trying to reach their destiny, who are really wanting that push, who are wanting activations. And, we've been guided into doing morphogenetic activations, into heart activations, DNA activations, the energetic field activations. We're looking into all those spaces. And so those people are coming to me and I'm finding implants. And that's what's been keeping them from pushing through that last little barrier. So the circumstances might be different for everyone in particular. It's not like everyone just needs to stay awake between 1 and 2 a.m. or anything like that to keep it from happening. The work is just the work. The work is just when you have an awareness to change something or heal something or look at something in your life, just to do it. And if you get to a space where you realize you do have an implant or something keeping you low vibrational, then realize that it happened for a reason during that particular time. And now that you have the awareness, you can do something about it.
Okay. Well, another part of that is there are positive implants too. And I didn't realize that. I don't know how far into this I was. They were positive implants, and that does allow them to give us direct information. And those implants we do want there. And I never been to a place where I wanted to remove one, and I'm not really exposed to that anymore, or exposed to positive implants. It's usually the negative ones that show up. When you're positive, you can ascend. You're not having any problems. You're not showing any issues. You're just getting a lot of downloads directly. And
I've only seen that twice. I've only seen positive implants twice. And the reasons that those people were sent to me who had those positive implants was because there was a miswiring.
Right.
It was almost like they were plugged into something else, like a wire got crossed or something, so that, where they're supposed to be downloading this direct energy and being able to completely ascend, but they were like plugged into the collective or plugged into other spaces that was actually pulling their energy in places that wasn't healthy. And so I just had to it was strange, I guess, because I had to
tweak it,
plug the wire from one space and plug it in somewhere else. But yeah, I've only ever seen that twice. So that's very interesting. But I guess if they have a positive implant and don't need anything, they wouldn't come. So.
Right. Most of the time when it's a positive implant, it's usually I'm having to deal with the brain waves, that I'm having to go change the brain waves for whatever's happening to them. But the positive implants, no, you don't want to mess with that, because that's your direct information, and that is helping you ascend. But you do get the ascension symptoms from those positive implants and that download that you get, so that we're seeing so much more of these days. So
then I have a question about that. Then what are the circumstances around someone getting a positive implant? Like, what would be the reasoning for that? And do they only have it for a certain amount of time before it should be removed? Is that
I can tell you this, Mary, both you and I have a positive implant. That's why we have. I didn't think you didn't realize that. It's because we get our information so directly from source and from whatever we're working with, that yes, that's a positive implant, that we chose to have that. So we said yes.
So when we reached certain vibrational states where it was good to do that and opportune to do that, then that was placed similarly to the negative ones when you're in a negative space.
Right.
It all makes sense.
Yes, it does. But it took me a long time to figure that out, that there was the positive ones too. And then it went a long time for me to go, oh, I think I have one. Because I get my information so directly. So, anyway. Okay. All right. Here's the next question. White Dragon, are they setting up permanent healing facilities in the mountain now? And, they've always had healing places in the facilities in the mountain. It's a very healing center. The Lemurians do a lot of healing. So that it's always been there. And it's just that now we're being able to use it. I mean, we know what's going on now. I mean, it's always been there. I'm not sure how to say that. I'm not saying that quite right.
No, I feel like I've seen that before. Like, it's been there for ever. It's almost like an Atlantean type thing.
Exactly.
It's always been there. The Crystal City and those healing facilities and
right. It's always been there. It's just that we're accessing it now, because now we're in charge of the world now. We were in charge of North and South America. Now we're in charge of the world. So Lemuria is the place that we go use those medical facilities. We just go land on it and use them. They're almost like a hospital, but they've always been there. It's not just that that's developed. It's always been there. I've even seen myself as a Arcturian in there teaching them techniques. And I keep wondering why, what was I teaching them? And so I was like, how can I teach them anything? But no, they've always had some facilities there. We're just now using them. Okay. So that was for the community questions. I'm sitting there trying to look. Yeah, I've got the community questions, but I saw one very interesting question earlier, and it was about somebody who saw an ET. And Susie, did you see that question? I can pull that up. That came in real early. I hope they're still here. Well, that wasn't Sunny Intuition, but okay. It was way early. It was one of the first comments. But hey, Sunny, I'm doing some exercises from the Soul Contracts book. If I only allow 100% divine light, would that exclude things I'm doing at night while I sleep or working with ETs? Thanks. Let me read that again. Light, would that exclude things I'm doing at night while I sleep or working with ETs? Well, no. That should just go hand in hand. What do you think, Mary? I mean, that is the divine.
Without extra context, the word divine to me speaks of just our connection with our divinity and with our purpose and things like that. So that would not exclude your work with the ETs or what you're doing while you're sleeping, because that's part of your purpose. Now, if the word that we meant to put there was pure white light or something like that versus the shadow, then that might change the context of the question. But within the word divine light, I think that they do go hand in hand, as this is all your purpose and your divinity and your holiness and your sacredness and just part of your path and who you are.
I hope that helps, Sunny. I just don't think that's going to be any interference with what you're doing at night. Okay, next. All right, Susie, did you find it? I'm going up looking for it too. It's one of the first, because I'm like prepared for that one. I'm looking at one of the questions that somebody put in the very beginning is rewritten perspectives. There we go. I got it. Okay. Is there any alien species that are just 4 to 6 years old kid size, the whole body, and have blue hands? Well, immediately, rewritten perspective, I don't know if you're in here or not, but I immediately thought it was the Ebens. It's not blue hands, but they wear a blue uniform, and it probably looked blue to you, and they're called Ebens. They're kind of related to the Greys. The difference are, there are some differences. They are a little bit taller, but they are about that size, the size of a 46-year-old. And I don't know if you know anything about the Greys, but you can look up the Ebens, Ebens. And that's probably what you saw. They are very common around here. That makes it sound like species. They are very common. So I think that's what you saw. And they have actually been some of the ones that have been captured and been carried at the Area 51 places. So I hope that answers your question. And you can find out about the Ebens. You can go on. I can't believe lost the name of that show. Anyway, I'll think about it in a minute. The one of the show has the information, and if I can't think of it before we finish, then Gaia. You can find out a lot about the Ebens on Gaia. So anyway, all right. Next question. Spirit Watcher Suzanne, hey, can you tell me if my blockage is gone? You want to take this, Mary?
I feel like you should. I'll give you my opinion, but I feel like I might be closer to this one.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I feel a little bit still there. It's almost in the throat chakra.
Yes, that was what I picked up. There was a lot of energy in the throat. I don't know that this is a complete blockage, but I think that there is a lot of energy in that space that still needs to be purged and worked through.
Right. So there you go, the Spirit Watcher Suzanne. Need to work on your throat chakra. But you're almost there. I didn't see much. You're almost there. Okay, next. Nancy, let's see. Hi, what is the role of the Galactic Council?
Does this mean she's my boss too?
Who, Nancy?
The Galactic Council, are they my bosses? Are they in charge?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So does that mean she's my boss too? Gail, how many bosses do I have?
Well, she just wants to know what the role is of the Galactic Council. She's not asking.
She's not her role in the Galactic Council.
Oh, well, her role in the Galactic Council. Let me see. There's so many Galactic Councils. I mean, there's so many, because I mean, when in the beginning, they put me on, the first one was on First Contact. They put me on that. Then the next thing I knew, I was in Atlantis. I was in all so many different ones of the Galactic Council. I didn't realize there's so many of them. And so anyway, Nancy, let me see if I can get into, being a boss. Mary, you're probably on the council too. You're probably on many of them. So
I'm just joking. It's really good to have lots of bosses. That's when I do something wrong, I don't have to take full responsibility of it. You do.
Well, I'm in charge of the world now, but I don't.
The whole world.
But I'm not the biggest boss either. I mean, they help me, and I have lots of help. The thing about it is when they, I freaked out the first time they put me in charge of the spaceship. I mean, that was my biggest freak out. Like, how can I do this? The Astro Medical one. I said, how can I do this? Blah, 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 blah. And then, but then after that, they send me so much help and so much support that it's now, okay. So whatever. They're going to help me. Yeah. It means that I just recently had to bring a situation. They wanted me to bring it to the 3D. And I'll talk about that probably later when that's all finished and done. That whatever was going on the spaceship, it was dealing with humans. And they said, bring this to the 3D and ask people, that you work with. So that was interesting. That was a first.
Well, I have a question, and it relates to Nancy's question, actually. Are there like alien animals? Like if we ride horses, what do aliens ride?
Well, that's just to say that. And this involves Meg also. Nancy Jean just did a show. She has been dealing with dragons. She just found out she's riding a dragon, and she's working with the elementals, and she goes down portals. And so I think it just depends on the species, what they're riding or what they might ride. I mean, because we're so involved in spaceships that, that's how we get around, that we don't think about what's happening on each planet or star or whatever and how they're getting around. So
I asked because when I was like, I was obviously looking at the question on the screen while you were talking, and I kept feeling like I was seeing Nancy riding an alien horse somewhere to do something. So like, I don't know if this was just her vehicle or like what was happening, or if this was on another planet, or if this was part of her role. And like, maybe she was delivering a message or traveling somewhere. I don't know what that was. It was almost like, what's that movie, Avatar, where they have like the little alien horses and they connect to the tails,
Yeah. The Avatar movie, I found out they were Lyrans. I found that when I moved here to Mount Shasta, that when I met one of it's actually the one that's taking my place on the spaceship. It's taking the duties, you and her sharing the duties I was doing. And she was she looked like one of them, and she said she was a Lyran. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Avatar was Lyran based or Lyrans. Anyway, so we've gotten way off track here.
So kind of like not, because I feel like that's part of her role. Like she was writing something.
Yes, that's just right. Actually, Nancy, it's not coming. I see you sitting on the council, but I have no idea which council it is. I'm just not getting a clear picture. I don't see that it's a big, humongous one. But maybe you're representing your planet. That's what it is. You're representing your planet. but I think it must be just a general, and you're representing your planet. There are a lot of beings that do go on the councils, and I'm seeing right now. It looks like it's a meeting of 20 people, and that's what you're doing. You're representing your planet. So there you go. How about Mary? You got anything else for besides what I would like to know? What,
honor. You get
I
to
like
planet.
I'd like to know what planet that was that she's riding a horse around.
Maybe Clearing.
It could be. Could be. There's so many different ones out there. So anyway, well, you have just brought up a whole lot of stuff here, Nancy, with your question. So okay. All right. So now on to the next one. Let's see what else is gonna come out. All right, hey, White Dragon, getting downloads, does that mean a positive implant? Yes. Yes, White Dragon, I'm sure you have a positive implant because you're getting so much information, and it does give this directly downloads. And yes, you do. So that was an easy one. Okay, next. All right, Marlene, are there any alien beings here, northwestern Ontario, Canada? Well, Marlene, they are everywhere. In fact, they're probably sitting next to you right now. They're just in a different dimension, and you can't see them because they're in a different dimension. And they do come around us a lot and observe, or just passing through or whatever, but because they're in a different dimension. But then that way, yeah, definitely. Yes. Okay, Mary.
For her specifically, I was almost picking up like some grays at first that are like just most in her space or closest to her. But there's something I'm seeing that almost looks kind of like a galaxy with like purples and blues and greens and stars. So there might be something to do with the night sky or stars or the Milky Way, or something that maybe you've witnessed before, Marlene, where they're making signs in the sky at night. And that's something to pay attention to with a new awareness that there may be aliens near you.
Also, I got Sasquatch territory. That's what I immediately got. So, anyway, I'm not sure if that's what's around you or up there. Y'all have a lot of sightings, but that's what I got. It was Sasquatch territory.
So is Sasquatch an alien?
Yes. What?
I want to open this topic.
Okay. Yes.
What
okay.
kind of alien is Bigfoot?
Well, I don't know what kind of alien they
she
are.
said, I don't know. You just said
it's just an alien. They're not from here. Yeah, they're ET race, and I think we get sightings of it because they come into our dimension and then go away. You know, we see them and then they're gone, and that's why we see a Bigfoot sighting or Sasquatch sighting or all that. In fact, I think the Wookiee, is kind of a Sasquatch, and my dog Moon, who is a shapeshifter, goes from a Wookiee to a dog to a human. So I do think all those are ET or alien related, and I just think that's why we just get sightings, because they're all of a sudden show up in our dimension, and we see them, and then they're gone.
I've never seen Bigfoot, but I do resonate deeply with the chupacabras. I love the chupacabra. I feel like I've felt it and seen it, and I really want to see one. And that's not a werewolf. Just so everyone knows. We know that they're hot and sexy and they're on movies, but the chupacabra is something completely different. And I deeply resonate with them. I feel like they're around here, like in the woods and stuff like that around. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of them that are inner earth beings too, and that could be that's what Bigfoot and Sasquatch and all of them could be inner earth beings that come out. But I do know they are a different dimension. That's why we only see them occasionally. So
when they allow our frequencies to match for an instance.
Yes, exactly. And it might be your frequency matching them, a lot of it out in nature.
So my frequency matches a chupacabra.
Well, you haven't seen one, have you?
I feel like I have, just not like with my eyes.
Okay. You probably. Oh, we're really getting into stuff here today. Okay. Oh, Mims, Bigfoot, interdimensional shapeshifters doing work here and mostly leave when we come around. I agree, Mims. That's exactly right. And I do think they are interdimensional shapeshifters. As I said, my dog Moon is a shapeshifter, and she is, a Wookiee, which is in that same kind of family of Bigfoot. So anyway, all right, Marlene, we keep going down the rabbit hole on these questions here. So, next question. All right, Roseanne, what's the difference between the Ebens and tall grays? Well, actually, the Ebens are the tall grays. And my understanding, now this is my understanding, that there's the regular grays and then there's the Ebens, and the Ebens are the tall grays. Okay. And I'm an adoptee of the tall grays and their little ones. They seem to come around still. Are they still breeding? Why are they doing this? No, there's nothing like that going on anymore, Roxanne. That's all been taken off planet. In fact, those grays are not here anymore. They're gone. So yeah, they're gone. They're not doing any kind of that breeding or abducting or anything like that. That's not going on anymore. Okay. All right, next. All right, Mims, Dr. Gail, how may I meet with the Galactic Council here or in the dream state? Or have I already without being consciously aware of it? Well, yes, if you're on the Galactic Council, you are doing it probably in your dream state, going out there and doing some work. I mean, we have different parallel lives or whatever's going on, or different past, presents are all merging together. So we are able to be in different places at different times. All right, Mary, got it?
I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. I got my entire deck of cards, and I start channeling when you just start talking, and then I can't even focus on words. And what I pulled was the inverted, or like the whole deck went out, and there was one inverted card that stood out while you were answering this question, and it was the inverted wind card. So it's essentially talking about winds of change. So whatever's happening in your dream state, this is talking about how change is coming, and kind of an old way of doing things that might have seemed automatic, or automatic ways of thinking and reacting to certain situations. They're kind of becoming more clear to you now. You're gaining a better awareness of them so that you can start making new choices. So regardless of whatever the change is, it's time to have clear communication with others, and there's a shift that's being asked for the greater good. So I don't know how that applies to your question. Let me read the question. Hold on. Sorry.
Back up and read the question. Well, I've done that before too. Information starts coming in, and you go back up and go, oh, wait a minute. What did they ask me?
I guess with the question then, if you don't know if you've met with them or you haven't consciously met with them, something is shifting and changing in those realms, and you're going to start becoming more aware of your dream state or of your meeting. I don't know what your answer was, Gail. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. No, that fits just right along with it. Just fine. Okay, next. All right, White Dragon. Mary, all our missions come through the Galactic Councils. Yes.
I need to meet you, White Dragon. I need to see your non-alien face.
Yeah, I did a live with him a few weeks ago. We're doing a live again on Friday. So
I know that you did. I have to look it up because, I can see his energetic body, like the alien body, but I want to lay eyes on the physical body. So may.
There you go. The next show on Skywalking with Moon this Friday at 12. And that is Pacific time, 3 Eastern time, with the White Dragon. You'll be on. We'll be talking about
fireworks for you and White Dragon.
Yes, we'll be talking about our latest mission. So, okay, next. All right, Linda Lane. Don't dragons breathe fire? Sounds dangerous. Well, we can't put all dragons in one category. All dragons are different. And as I said, one Nancy Jean has, his name is Cecil. And she says it's almost like a cat. It has fuzz on it. So all dragons are different. But the fire breathing ones, I guess you would kind of tame them. I'm not sure about that. But yes, they're different. So Mary, you go with this one.
I mean, I imagine it's just like any animal, any person. Some people can be dangerous, and some horses can be dangerous and kick you. Anyone can be dangerous depending on their wounds, their lack of safety, and their distrust of you. So I imagine that if I were the Queen of Dragons in real life and I raised 3 dragons, I imagine that I would be impenetrable to fire, because I would have worked with the fire within and know the power of my own fire, and therefore I am not burned by it. I would imagine it goes something like that.
Right. Okay. All right. That's a good question.
I was
right.
like, okay. All right.
I just don't think we can categorize them all as fire-breathing dragons. But you're right. If you're around them, then they're not going to burn you. Like your cat, if you're around them, well, they might scratch you or bite you, or a dog bite you. It's probably all the same kind of energy. All right, Jennifer. Hello. It is true that I am visiting the elders on Saturn at night, and if so, why? Thank you. You want to take this one, Mary?
Preparing. I feel strongly that they're preparing you for something. They're preparing you for your mission. They're preparing you for destiny. They're preparing you for purpose. So a couple other cards came out earlier, but I'm taking them out as I feel necessary. And this one, the eagle flew out. So anytime I'm seeing eagle, we're looking at setting your priorities straight. Like, what did you come to do in this life? Why are you here? What's your purpose? Things like that, questions that we ask ourselves all the time. But once we reach a certain level state, we start to be prepared by elders, by councils, by ancestors, by guides, and they prepare us subconsciously or in different brainwave states or in different dimensional states before we bring it into this realm and bring it into a reality or into a whole. I'm feeling preparation, and I'm excited about it, and I'm pumped for it. Gail, on to you. What do you have?
Baby steps.
But I'm so excited. I really wanted to push forward.
It says baby steps, action. It says,
yes.
Follow your intuition before it makes sense.
Yes. That's why, like, the subconscious and the preparation at night while you're sleeping, because you're going to feel and sense and know before something logically makes sense to your awakened mind. I love this.
Yes. Okay, next. All right, Butterfly Kisses Healing. Do I sit on the Galactic Council currently? I don't know why I see you in military uniform. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, that you are sitting on the council. I'm not sure if you're actually sitting on the council or you're protecting somebody on the council. But you have a seat on the council. I see you sitting there. All right, Mary, what you got? I'm going to pull a card for that too.
I'm sensing more of protecting someone or being with someone who's on the council. Yeah, my first initial gut instinct to that was no, but there's something very, very important. There's a mission that's very, very important that's related to the council. So whether this is, and for some reason, like corn came to my mind, which, what's that viral song going around right now? Corn. It's real great. Anyways, but it's like abundance and joy and sustenance and the stuff of life and everything that makes everything. So when I saw that, there's something that's really, really, really important about your job that really lets you into all of these special secret places. So,
but you've got a warning here. Something about not absorbing what's not yours. You're empathetic starseed and you're absorbing something that's not yours. And I think that is part of your protective, what you're doing right now. And I think, I don't know that this is a permanent step for you, but that's what you're doing right now. Butterfly Kisses. So anyway, I hope that helps. All right, next. All right. Hey, Linda Lane. Am I still working with the Palladians? Let me see. Hmm. I think
I'll
you're
tell
working.
you, your alien just stepped into this room, Gail, and now it is like 20 degrees hotter than I appreciate it being. I'm going to open the door.
What I'm getting, Linda, is that you're working with more than the Pleiadians right now. I'm thinking you might be working like with Lemuria, with the Pleiadians and the Arcturians and the Syrians, which I think are there, which they like to be called they like to be called Lemurians. And so I think you were working with the Pleiadians, but I think you have advanced to more than just that. Okay, Mary, did you hear what that was? Did you hear the question?
Yeah, I heard that. No, I was kind of tracking energy along, and I agree with what you said. It was for me like seeing her splitting out into more and more spaces and taking on more responsibility. So as she becomes good steward over one thing, they're giving her more and more and more and more to do.
Right. Okay, next. Linda's got more responsibilities. Okay. Actually, I don't know what is the name of the council that we deal and sit on. I just know it's the Galactic Federation is all I've ever heard, and I hear that all the time. But there's so many subgroups to it that I've gotten confused about how many. I mean, because I have been on so many different places on the council that I go in and see all these different ETs sitting on there, and I'm going, okay, which one I'm on now? Which council is this now? But it's all under that heading of the Galactic Federation. And so I don't know the name of the council. I'll have to go up and ask because there's a couple of questions I need to ask. I'm kind of getting used to my new job right now. So going and asking these questions like that, I'm still overwhelmed with all the other things that I'm doing that I'm going. I don't get to those kind of details that you go, darn it, I wish I asked them that.
I was thinking the hierarchy while you were talking, and I went up, I tracked the energy up to where it was, and I went to go ask, and there were these two luminous beings that took the doors and went, they just slammed the door in my face. They're like, no, we're not telling you that. Get out of here.
I'll ask them that. I always forget about those kind of questions when I'm there. I'm just getting my job duties. What are we going to do? We're going on a mission. Got to get my people together. This is how we're going to do it. We got to discuss on the ethics on a lot of it. There's so much that goes into these rescue missions that I don't think about asking those kind of questions sometimes.
There wasn't an orientation day?
No, it's like, oh, now you're this.
You moved up.
It seems like everybody else gets the orientation, even the people that are taking my place on this ship, on the Ashtar Medical one. I got to orientate them. I think they like to see me. They like to see the shock on my face. Like, what? This is what I'm doing.
You work best on your toes.
Maybe I was what?
Maybe you work best on your toes.
Well, that was my nursing thing. Is that I worked in open heart surgery and neurosurgery, emergencies, traumas, all that kind of stuff, and that was what I was good at. Bam, bam, bam. I could get through it. So this is exactly what I do now. It's a different realm. Having to think fast, having to think on your toes. This is how we're going to do it.
I had an orientation.
You had an orientation?
You did my orientation.
Oh, yeah, I did. Orientated you on there. Yes, I've orientated a lot of people, but I've never gotten an orientation. Well, I take that back. I got a tour of the spaceship. They didn't tell me I was going to be working on it, but I just got a tour of it. And then the next thing, I don't know, you're a surgeon on here. And the next thing is, oh, you're in charge of the whole spaceship. You're in charge of all the hospital spaceships. Yeah, just kept going.
Now you're in charge of the world.
Now it's the world, and it's over the military and the medical, both. So, yeah, but it's not bothered me nearly as much as the others. But
all right. In the medical aspect, though, so
yes.
Does that mean that White Dragon is also in the medical aspect?
No, he's military. He's way
military.
Up there in the military. He's like a 5-star general. He's way, 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 way up there. And he got his training from Archangel Michael, and he didn't know he was in training. He thought he was this buddy that he was going to be working with forever. It's done the same way with him too. That all of a sudden, okay, it's your job now. You've been trained. So anyway, so it does go like that. Okay, we went down another rabbit hole. All right, so next question. All right, so the intuition. I saw a beautiful green dragon when I was waking up one morning. What is my connection to the dragon? Thanks. All right. It looks like a friendly little dragon, doesn't it? Almost looks like a salamander or a gecko or something, a big one.
I'm almost getting like opposing words around it, like fierce gentleness or, things like that. There's a lot about beauty. So I feel like this dragon has come to you as some sort of hyper aspect of self, where it's showing you the fierceness that you have within around your own beauty and your own love and your own sacredness and how you express that. So whatever that is, I love it. You could see it as a guide or an archetype of self, but I think it's really speaking deeply of your spiritual journey and the beauty that you have within.
And y'all have traveled together many lifetimes. That's what I'm getting. This is almost like just a friend. That's what I'm getting. And guidance, friend and guidance. Yeah, I have a very special connection. Is what it is. Sunny intuition. It seems sweet connection, but there is a lot of energy there. A lot of guidance there. I'm sorry, Mary. I kind of blanked out on what you were saying.
Well, that's how it goes. Like, we started channeling, the other one was talking. I feel like we ended up on the same words.
Okay. All right. So next. Hey, Nancy, any update on the event when ETs will make their appearance? No, I don't have any update on that. In fact, I'm not sure if it's not going to be the inner earth beings that show up first. I'm questioning that now, if that's what's going to happen next. And the inner earth beings, that's another question I need to ask them. What do they want to be called? Because we label them as ETs also, or aliens, or galactic beings, or whatever you want to call them. But they do live here on Earth, and they've been here longer than us. So we're actually the ETs to them. So I'm not real sure how that's going to play out. Got any think about that, Mary? No. Okay. All right. Next. Hey, Strawberry Rhubarb Trail, how are you doing? All right. If questions are still open, have I been to other planets, and for what purpose? Well, yeah.
Yes. She's an explorer so much. I need to know, does this person have Sagittarius energy? Because she is definitely an explorer.
I don't know. She has her own YouTube channel, so you can see her there. And she has just retired from a teaching position, and she does work on the spaceship. And she is a one that does a lot of administrative work. Mm-hmm. But but she is out there. She is an explorer. She is in Canada. I think it's Canada. Anyway, yes, she is very much a go-getter, explorer kind of person.
There's a lot of aliens in Canada.
Yes.
There really is. I've noticed a lot of clients from Canada have had alien experiences.
Yes. And there's a big, where I've gone to a lot, is the one that's over there near Nova Scotia. There's actually a big, it's not a portal, but kind of like Mount Shasta, but it's just as big over there in Nova Scotia. I can't remember what the name of it's called, but I've been there quite a few times with those facilities. So anyway, all right, sorry, everybody. Terry, oh yeah, okay, in 3D, yes, West Coast Canada. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, all right, next. Hey, Marie, I had problems sleeping a while back. Someone said I'm a starseed. Okay. Well, Marie, if anything here today is resonating with you and you're still here, then you're definitely a starseed. Usually what we are contacting or what we resonate with are the starseeds or the hybrids. Yes, that's definite yes. Okay, next.
At this point, we kind of believe that all of us are starseeds to a certain extent, or hybrids of some sort.
Yeah, yes. I do. Well, I think we all have some kind of ET DNA in us. But somebody, the ones that are here that are resonating are kind of being the ones I would say, what I call them is activated star seeds. And they're the ones that have actually been activated and are exploring their starseed origins. But that's only how I say it. That's all I call it.
I like how you say it. That's great.
That's just my opinion. My opinion. Okay. I hear somebody going out there. Now, Dr. Gill said, this is it. But that's just my opinion. Somebody else might have a different opinion. But I do think everybody's a starseed, and the ones we work with are the ones that are being activated. Somebody else will say that it's only the starseeds. They're only ones that are activated are called starseeds. So there are different opinions on that. Okay, next. I know.
I have an opinion. Do you want me to say it?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Go ahead.
I think both could be true to a certain extent if you think about like quantum physics. Right. Because when we talk about if a tree falls and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound, because technically the sound is made by the vibrations hitting your ears. But the tree still did exist and the tree still did fall. So you are still technically a starseed even if you're not activated, but you can still probably only call yourself that once you have the awareness and the activation with your starseed blood. So, huge tangent. Let's move on.
Yes, but me, I got everybody's a starseed because I think we all have DNA from the ETs, and the ones that are active are ones I consider activated ETs. So anyway, that's just my opinion. Okay, next. Oh, Dream Journey 1. Can either of you ladies tell me what I may be doing in the military? That's Jezebel's allergy. She's scratching. You hear her whining a little bit.
I'm like combat stuff. What do they call those people? Aren't there like certain people who are like paper pushers, and there's certain people who do like combat? I don't know the legal name or technical names.
Well, White Dragon is in the chat. He might be able to tell you a little bit more. Dream Journey 1. He's the one in charge of the military, and so I have I'm in charge. I'm the upper one that's in charge of military and medical, but I have main ones under me. And Rezon is on the military side, and I let him kind of handle all that part now. And so White Dragon is right there with him working. So I'm not exactly what you're sure, but what you're describing is like a warrior, I guess, type of.
Or like a grunt. I don't know what the name is for the person who does the active work and the active missions and protection. And I don't know what that's called. I should know that. My first husband was a Marine. I don't know why I don't know that.
Well,
There's how much
yeah, that's right. You blocked it. All right, next. All right, if you have any message from ET guides, please. I'm too close to this one right now. With some information that I have heard from her, say, Mary, I'm going to let you take this one.
I'm feeling like a lot of pain, actually, and a lot of hurt. I don't know this person or anything that you've been through, but immediately when I tap into that energy, there's a lot of energy moving from the heart up. And so there might be some things here to be looked at and explored in a very loving and non-judgmental way, in a very gentle way. And once we can, I'm not even going to say once we can release those spaces, we're going to move into purpose and things like that. I feel like you're already living your purpose, but I also feel like you're in a space where it's not time to release. I feel like you're in a space where you need to feel what you're feeling, honor what you're feeling, allow it to be there, and then let it purge as it does naturally. What does your card say?
Wait.
Yeah, allow yourself to be in that space and to honor that those feelings are there and to really look at them, not push them away too soon.
Yeah, it says it's not yet time. Things are being woven. So there you go, Vivian. So, okay, well, next. All right, Patricia, what is my power? Okay.
Picking up something around the throat or voice or speech.
I've seen blue around her for sure.
Yes.
also see her writing. So I think that's all kind of coming together as expressing your voice, Patricia. That is your power.
A story.
What was that?
You said writing?
Yeah. I see
said a
voice.
Story.
A story, yes.
I don't know, but there's something there that's also like battling within the story. So there might be, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, however you choose to present that, there might be something within your story that is full of advocacy. So battling for something and really using your voice around that.
Okay. You know, see me petting over. Jezebel's wanting me to scratch her ears. Her allergies are acting up. So she's like, going, scratch
I heard her like coughing or something.
She's scratching at it. I have to give her something in a few minutes. Okay, let's see.
Welcome. Yes, you're here for a reason.
Go ahead.
I haven't tapped into the reason yet, but I believe in synchronicity. So I believe that if this popped up and you tuned in and you stayed here this long, it was because you were meant to see it. And there's something here for you to look at. And I'm also sensing a lot of power in your solar plexus and sacral space. So we have whatever your power is and whatever your gift is, it's going to be used through creativity and through your expression of self and through you being your completely authentic, unapologetic self. So everyone who tells you you're too much or your ideas are too out there or anything like that, tell them if you want less, go find less, because I'm here to do this.
Exactly.
And do that.
That's what I'm also getting. Your presence on Earth is actually all we need. All you need to do. That is your purpose. Just your presence in every place you go raises the elevation of you being there. So good for you.
How does that feel? Walking into a room.
Yeah, well, it raises the vibration. You know, that's a lot of people. I mean, not a lot of people, but some people are like that. I'm the wallflower. I come in a room and hide. I'm hiding in the corner. You'll find me in the back or the corner somewhere. But I don't feel like that for JD Saints. Okay, next. All right. This is going to be our last question. BJ, hi, y'all. I meditated earlier and asked if the beings in 6D have names. I felt like no, it's kind of like a group versus here on Earth. Everyone has a name. What all y'all's thoughts? Yeah, I agree. I think they go without names when they get to it because they're a one. They're a group. They consider themselves as a oneness. And that's what I hear a lot is they use the one a lot or oneness. The same. We're the same. We have the same thoughts. It's a group. Go ahead, Mary. I know
that's
you can go.
Like the difference between us here and the collective consciousness or something like that is like where we are in this dimensional space and as humans with egos and human senses, we feel the need to be separate from everybody else. So we have a name to identify our separateness and how we aren't you and how you aren't him or her. And so that's a very human thing. Whereas when we get into higher consciousness and higher dimensional levels, none of that is necessary and none of it's needed and it's not real. Separateness actually isn't real. So I like that. I mean, often we'll even ask guides, like in sessions, we'll ask guides or whatever, well, what is your name? And we might not receive an answer. And it's because the guides are like, I don't freaking have a name. Like, I'm just a frequency, you know?
Well, no, what I get with that, they'll go, okay, human name. Well, we'll go with human name you understand because you're not to understand it or we don't have one. So, you know, so they'll come up with something like Sam or whatever.
Because we need that. We
need
to be able to call them something.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just helping us try to process it all. So anyway, thanks, BJ. Thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Susie. Thank you, everybody. And we will see y'all next month with Mary. All right. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Love you.